I won't prosecute these crimes. Shoplifting, trespass, receiving stolen property, possession of marijuana paraphernalia, disorderly conduct, marijuana possession, minor in possession of alcohol, possession with intent to distribute, non-marijuana drug possession, resisting arrest, destruction of property, breaking and entering, driving with a suspended license. Larceny is not a crime.
Legitimate response.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. We got another one right here. This is Ted Cruz.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
Federal prosecutor nomination hearing, and it was a democratically nominated candidate. This person is crazy. I'm really glad Ted Cruz looked a little bit deeper into this one, because if this person would have been actually placed into office, it would have been crazy. And you'll see that here in this video about what I'm talking about. This person is nuts, if I must say. Wherever she is, she's an actual prosecutor right now, as far as I can tell from what I've looked up. I don't understand how a prosecutor can implement policy that she has laid out here. And all this is in writing. Yes, it's in writing. Kind of one of the reasons I'm making this video and putting this specifically in here is to kind of show some of the people just how far the left has gone. They have gone so far left that you can't even really call it left anymore. They're past left. They're into no man's land, I guess. It's the only thing I can think of, because it's so freaking extreme. Regular Democrats are calling some of these people extremely crazy.
Here's what liberal Democrat Art Acevedo says about Rachel Rollins. Quote, people like Ms. Rollins are, quote, going so far that we're putting the criminal and their interests in front of the victim's interest.
And unfortunately, we have that on the right as well. We have some of our Republicans are quite extreme as well, and we need to get rid of those people too. We need to get rid of everybody that's that extreme. When you have people in your own party saying you're an extremist, yeah, we got some issues with that. It's up to us voters to vote these people out of office. And that's why it's so important we need to keep up with politics at least a little bit. Watch a video like this or two, because I feel like it's my duty to put some of this out there, because not a lot of people are covering this. It's been slow to pick up, but it's picking up a little bit. And thanks everybody for subscribing. And now a word from our sponsor. Hey, it's me. I'm the sponsor. If y'all could, go ahead and punch that subscribe button and tell that like button to get the hell out of here. Thanks. I really, really appreciate it. You people are amazing. Here we go. This is nuts. I'm gonna stay out of this one a little bit, because Ted Cruz, if you know Ted Cruz, he can ramble, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm rambling a little bit, which I normally don't do. But here we go.
We're not in the crime business anymore. In other words, we, the government, almost always, and in fact, I'll take out the almost always Democrats, say given a choice between a violent criminal and an innocent citizen, we, the Democrats, choose the violent criminal. You may say, surely that is hyperbole. Well, let's look at her record. First of all, Ms. Rollins, in February, she was very candid that she came into the job of DA as a crusader. Here's what she said, quote, if you want to change the criminal legal system, become a prosecutor. Why? She explains why. Because you have, quote, the power to determine charges and what crimes to decline to prosecute. I won't prosecute these crimes. Well, let's look in writing, and I will say this document, it is entitled Appendix C, SCDAO, Declination and Diversion Policy. Boy, what an incredibly boring title, designed to mask a horrific policy. I would encourage anyone, look, if you're watching this at home, let me suggest something to you. Go read this document. I'll tweet out this document. Just read it. Read it yourself and then ask who's telling the truth. Because for all the Democrats say, no. What do you mean she won't prosecute crimes? Let me read from the document she prepared. Charges on the list of 15 should be declined or dismissed pre-arraignment, so even before the proceedings start, without conditions. The presumption is the charges that fall into this category should always be denied. Always. Even when attached to another charge. So if you have a multiple criminal, we just throw out these crimes. Basically, this is the prosecutor saying, I'm the legislature. Those pesky elected legislators that actually voted on the criminal code, I don't care what they say. I am erasing these crimes from the criminal code.
I'm sorry, but I just had a thought when I heard him say that last line.
Those pesky elected legislators that actually voted on the criminal code, I don't care what they say.
I couldn't help but think the Democrats recently in the past few months have really been preaching hard about
the MAGA Republicans don't just threaten our personal rights and economic security. They're a threat to our very democracy.
So I find it really funny and very hypocritical that they would say that Republicans are a threat to democracy, but yet you have Democratic prosecutors basically doing an end run around the legislature to get around laws that we put into place. So who is really the threat to democracy here?
What's the first one on the list? Trespass. Do you want laws against trespass enforced in your community? Well, according to this individual that the Democrats want to make the top federal prosecutor in the state of Massachusetts, trespass is no longer against the law. Someone comes into your house, onto your property, no biggie, ain't a crime anymore. All right, what else isn't a crime? Shoplifting. You know, all of us have seen the videos, I think exclusively in Democratic cities, of shoplifters brazenly breaking into stores and stealing and running out. And why do they do it? They do it, for example, in San Francisco, because you have a prosecutor there who won't prosecute them. But this prosecutor says there is no shoplifting. Now, if you want to steal a bunch of stuff, this is your person. If you're actually a small business owner, if you'd like to not have it open season on people breaking into your store and stealing everything in it, that might concern you. What else? Larceny. Larcegy's not a crime. Remember that she said these should always be declined to be prosecuted. Larceny's on the list. What else is on the list? Disorderly conduct disturbing the police. So disorderly conduct is apparently not a crime. What else? Receiving stolen property. So it's good news. At least she's analytically complete. The shoplifters can steal everything in the store. They can take it to the fence, and the fence can then take everything in the store. If you believe that theft doesn't matter, that's a great idea. If you believe in actually enforcing the law, that's insane. What else is not a crime under the lawless administration of this supposed district attorney? Driving with a suspended license. Well, listen, that sounds pretty mild. I mean, a suspended license, that's a technical thing, right? What's the most common area typically where people lose their license? For driving drunk. Where do you get your license suspended? When you drive drunk. So if driving with a suspended license is not a crime, then apparently it is open season for people who have had their license suspended because they're repeat drunks because they endanger the safety of innocent people, of children. They get in a car and drive, they get pulled over, you don't have a license. Hey, no problem, keep on driving. Let us know when you kill someone when you're drunk next time. What else is not a crime, according to this radical? B&E, which all of us who watch Law & Order knows that stands for breaking and entering, into a vacant property to sleep or escape the cold. Okay, that sounds kind of reasonable. All right, a vacant lot, it's cold, you're going there. All right, that actually on the list, you can understand the reasoning. If it's cold, you're breaking into a vacant lot. It's vacant, there's not anyone there to be hurt. You can understand that one. And at least she has the good sense to say it's got to be vacant, because that way no innocent people will be hurt, right? Well, what's the next one on the list? B&E into a non-vacant property to sleep or escape the cold. Well, what's a non-vacant property? Like, I don't know, your home? So apparently what she's saying is if it's cold outside, it is no longer a crime for somebody to break into your home, so they can trespass on your property. They can break into your home, they can commit larceny, and apparently sleep in your living room. Now, I want each of you to imagine, look, there's an element of How would you answer one of your constituents if someone is doing this? And the answer from the prosecutor is, we will always dismiss the case. What else won't she prosecute? Wanton or malicious destruction of property. Ain't a crime under her. What else? You could say, well, at least none of these are violent, right? Well, breaking into a non-vacant property, that has the potential for violence. You know what else is not a crime? Threats. You can make a direct threat. You can threaten innocent people. You can threaten children. You can commit threats. Not a crime. What else is not a crime? Minor in possession of alcohol. Kids apparently drink like crazy guys. Party when you got it. What else is not a crime? It's not just alcohol. Okay, you got kids with beer. All right, that's not the first time that's ever happened. Well, marijuana possession of marijuana paraphernalia. Okay, you've got some recreational pot. There's some jurisdictions that have legalized that. Understand that. Well, but it's just the users, right? It's the low-level guys. Nope. What's the next one they don't prosecute? Possession with intent to distribute. So if you're a drug dealer, get yourself to Massachusetts. And by the way, you might say, well, it's just marijuana. There are a lot of places that say marijuana is not too bad. Well, what's the next one on the list? Non-marijuana drug possession. But I'm assuming non-marijuana drug possession includes heroin, includes crack, includes cocaine, includes fentanyl, PCP, LSD, all of those. Hey, if you got kids, a lot of us on this committee have kids. I don't know, I would be kind of dismayed by a prosecutor who says if there's a drug dealer in my kid's school with a backpack full of fentanyl selling it to other kids, we're not going to prosecute him. But apparently the Democrats on this committee are not dismayed. And by the way, on the question of do you support cops or not, the last one on this list, resisting arrest. Police officer goes, confronts someone who's violent. They're violent. They engage with them. They resist arrest. What's the prosecutor say? Man, it really stinks to be you. I'm sorry you chose to be a cop. But it's open season. Apparently, resisting arrest is now the standard way of interacting with the police in Massachusetts. This is lunacy. And by the way, to make clear that her policy of not prosecuting anything is consistent with her advocacy of abolishing the police, here's what she said at an earlier public gathering. Rollins also spoke about the much-discussed concept of defunding the police. Okay, let's find out. Where is she on defunding the police? She said that defund is not the verb she would use. Okay, that's good. I'm sure every Democratic talking point is going to take that portion of the statement. She wouldn't use the verb defund, but rather reimagine. Okay, reimagine may be good, may be bad, hard to tell, or reallocate. Now, anyone who knows anything about defund means take the money out of, get away their funding. Reallocate means take the money away, get away their funding. And she explains, she elaborates on this. I think we're asking the police to do far too much. I think we can reimagine and reallocate some funding, take money away from the cops. Those are her views.
So yeah, there you have it. That is crazy if you ask me. And I imagine you don't have to ask because that's just crazy. Now, honestly, I went and looked up that paper he was talking about, and everything he said is there. It's all right there in writing. And I kind of couldn't believe it. There was a lot he actually left out too, that it's a little bit less extreme, but it's still crazy. It's, oh man. Oh Lord, we have fallen pretty far with our politicians, and it's a damn shame if you ask me. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Be positive. Peace.